Hi, Pre-Algebra. These are video notes for section 6.2. In this section, we are going to analyze reflections. So in 6.1, we looked at translations where we were sliding a figure. Now we're going to reflect a figure. So our first box here is some vocabulary we're going to fill in. This says a reflection or a flip is a transformation that flips a figure over a line of reflection. Reflected figures are the same distance from the line of reflection, but on opposite sides. So we're going to see that when we do this. A blank is a line over which the figure is reflected. So we just call that the line of reflection. The original, so that line of reflection is a line over which the figure is reflected. So we can see that line over which the figure is reflected. And the original location and the new location are the same distance. So here we can see an example. On the left side, here we have the pre-image. That's the original. And on the right, we have the image. That's the new one, and I can tell that from the prime markings. And I can see that I reflected over M, which is that line of reflection. So I can see that C and C prime are the same distance away from that orange line. And that's what we're told here. The pre-image and image are the same distance from the line of reflection, but on opposite sides. Also, our figures, our pre-image and our image, are the same size, same shape, but they have different orientation. So if you had a letter, if I was going to reflect the letter L over a line, it would flip around and it would have different orientation. Okay, so here we go with our first example. We are told, graph the image and label the new vertices after a reflection across the x-axis. Then write the new points in the table below. So the x-axis is the one that goes left and right. Remember, Y to the sky. So X goes across, and I like to make that really clear. Here's my line. Now, A, B, C, D, E is going to reflect over that line. So I can see that A, oh, my picture just went away. I can see that A is 2 above that line. So A prime is going to be 2 below, and I'm going to mark that A prime. B is 4 above, so now that's 4 below. C, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above, so I'm going to go 5 below that line, same X value. D is 1 over from that. And E, 2 above, so E prime is 2 below. Now we're going to connect all those points. And we've got A, B, C, D, E prime. So let's find where A prime is. My original A is at -5, 2, and A prime is at -5, -2. B is at -5, 4. B prime is at -5, -4. C is at -4, 5. C prime is at -4, -5. D is at, let's see, D is at negative 3, 5. So we're going to have D prime at negative 3, negative 5. And E is at negative 2, 2. Or I'm sorry, negative 3, 2. So E prime is at negative 3, negative 2. Compare the pre-image and the image points. Can you come up with an algebraic rule? So my original is always xy. And when we reflect over the x-axis, looks like all the x values stayed the same. So x stays the same. And the y became opposite, because those y's all turn negative. So opposite y. Okay, now the next one we're going to do asks us to write the rule. So what is the rule that describes the reflection that maps parallelogram ABCD onto ABCD prime? So we want to go from the black one, that's my original, to the blue one. And it looks like we are reflecting. I'm going to draw the line of reflection. That helps me see what I'm doing here. And I can tell that because D and D prime are each 1 unit away from that y-axis. So the rule is to reflect over, whoops, need a pen, not a highlighter. We are going to reflect over the y-axis. And what that does to my xy, let's see, I can see that A has a value in the original one. A is at 3, 3. And A prime is at negative 3, 3. So when we reflect over the y value stays the same, and the x becomes the opposite. So opposite x, y. And I'm just going to remind myself that this is opposite x. Okay. All right, the next one gives us this really crazy shape, almost like a paper airplane that's been messed with. So we're going to go from the orange to the blue, and we got to find what is that line of reflection. So I can see these 2 points, F and F prime, are 2 away from each other. So halfway between those is our line of reflection. I can see that G is 2 below, so G prime is 2 above. H is 2 below, H prime is 2 above. So we are reflecting over the line, and that's a horizontal line that goes through 4. Goes through the y-axis at 4. The next one says, draw an image that would result in a reflection of figure EFG across the line x equals negative 1. Okay, so that's a new line of reflection where x is negative 1. So we're going to take our orange one and reflect over that line. So I can see that H is 1 to the left, So H prime is going to be 1 to the right. G prime is 3 to the left. So G prime will be 3 to the right. F is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see, E from that blue line of reflection, E is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the left. So from my line of reflection, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Our last example is this red trapezoid. It says trapezoid ABCD is shown. Draw a reflection of ABCD across the y-axis. Oh, it's not the last one. I was wrong. Identify the pre-image and image points. So ABCD is already there, and we are reflecting across the y-axis. And Y to the sky, so it's this kind of hard to see. But I can tell that, let's see, A is 2 to the right of that, so A prime is going to be 2 to the left. Oops, I need a pen. A prime. B is at, let's see, B is currently at 6, 8. When we move that to the other side, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left. Notice that from A to B is 4 units. A prime to B prime is 4 units. Now, D is on the line of reflection, and that's okay. D prime can stay there. And C is 7 away from that, so C prime is going to be 7 away from that. So what was maybe different about this one is that one of our points was sitting on the line, but it's not going to change. It just stays where it is. So A was at 2, 8, A prime is at negative 2, 8. B was at 6, 8. B prime is at negative 6, 8. C is at 7. And whoops. C was at 7, 3. So C prime is at negative 7, 3. And D is at 0, 3. D prime is just going to stay there. So that one stays the same. Okay, this is actually our last one. This says your friend incorrectly says that the reflection of EFG to its image, EFG prime, is a reflection across the x-axis. Okay, so your friend is saying this. We're going over this line. That's wrong. What is your friend's mistake? So even though I can tell it's reflecting over a horizontal line, it's the wrong horizontal line. The correct description of the reflection. Okay, so we don't want that red one. I'm going to pick a new color. Let's see. I'm going to find the distance between G and G prime. I could do this with any of the letters. I'm just choosing to do G and G prime. So I can tell that there are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces between G and G prime. So half of that 6 divided by 2 would be 3. So 3 spaces between 1, 2, 3 would be this horizontal line that cuts through the y-axis at -1. So it's a reflection over the horizontal line of y equals -1. So remember, if it's a line that's not the x and y axis, which are used a lot, you need to make sure that if it's cutting through the y-axis, the line is a y equals line. If it's cutting through the x-axis, the line is an x equals line. Okay, make sure you're taking your time and drawing all these out very carefully.